Hey everybody, so a few weeks ago I did a reaction video to trombone in TV, and this time reacting to trombone in pop music and in pop culture. But to do that, I thought I would bring on my good friend Darius Christian, who plays a lot of this stuff. We're gonna check out some of my favorite clips with him in a minute, but first, thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. They have thousands of courses over there if you want to check it out. The first 1,000 people to click my special link in the description will get a free trial to Skillshare Premium. Some of my favorite courses are like the Arthur Bird beginner jazz piano. There's tons of music production stuff that I've enjoyed, so check that out if you're interested. If you miss out on that first 1,000 people, it's only about $10 a month after that. So thank you to Skillshare, of course, and I hope you enjoy. Let's get to it. Hey everybody, I am here with my good friend Darius Christian.
What's up? What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing great, and today we're gonna check out some of my favorite horn lines, horn sections, and get your input on that because you do this professionally.
Let's do it.
I don't know if any of this is gonna work. Let's see what happens. All right.
Little Bruno.
Little Bruno.
This is absolutely like a dream band though. This is definitely bucket list.
Right?
Need to play with these guys. Okay, choreo.
Right?
How is he doing that?
I don't know.
What? Oh, come on. Is this a family-friendly? Okay, I'll keep it PG. Holy shnikes. I think they're actually playing, for the record. I think they're actually playing. And that is some insane choreo. That is some of the most ridiculous choreo.
There's another bit where the bone player comes in.
This is a live band. Dude, this band is ridiculous.
Look at that lighting.
So good.
So like,
woo! I can tell that they spent a few months rehearsing. I'd imagine it's a LA-based production, so they probably camped out in a rehearsal studio, soundstage, for at least a few weeks. I mean, they're running around constantly. To be able to do this, you need to cross-train. So there's some sort of cross-training happening, just in the sense of like, yeah, you're a horn player, but you're also a dancer at this point.
Oh,
so
like
you have
legit.
to like... Yeah, like condition, stretch, squats, push-ups, not to mention long tones.
Right.
Like, this is a pretty high... I bet that like after these shows, they're probably dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is like, what, an hour and a half straight, you know?
Next level.
Yeah.
Next level. Oh, Janelle Monáe is such a gangster.
Right?
Is that the White House?
Oh, yeah.
Why does that drummer look familiar? This is hilariously kind of like a wedding band, though.
Yeah.
What's happening? Why do they have music stands? Oh, that's why.
Okay. Listen to that one again.
It's a little awkward.
Yeah, right? Like, the vibe of this stage and everything is just like...
You sort of have like session horn players lined up who are clearly just like focused on playing the music, which is cool because they sound great. They sound totally cool. They sound like a great live section. The band sounds great, but you have Janelle Monáe who's like, you know, Prince meets Stevie Wonder meets whatever she's doing is like very high energy. Coming from the Bruno Mars video, you kind of want like some next level energy. And here
spunk.
It's like, yeah, it's a little weird.
How much of this do you have to do in your jobs? Because you've played with like Macklemore and Andrea Bocelli, and those are different, right?
It's a bit different. It's a little different.
Here, let's check one out. So let's start with the king. First of all, what are you thinking?
It's the closest I'll ever get to like running out of the tunnel as like a quarterback for like a playoff football team. You know, like it's like this. The hype level is like cranked.
And the crowd loves it for some reason. They're like, trombone!
Yeah. They're in. Oh man, I gotta say, this makes me miss touring and my job so much. Oof.
Yeah, I bet.
It is kind of a weird thing to think, like, this opens the show.
Yeah. That's a bold statement.
It says a lot. It's
I ain't gonna die tonight. You can't kill me, not my spirit. History is ours tonight. The people are chanting.
I miss my job.
It's just a big party already.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
so
man,
this
that's all white.
dude, you look hip, man. So at this point, how much of this show is like just raising that energy level for the stage?
I'd say 95%. You're constantly moving and there's choreo happening. I was definitely in better shape.
What led to this point where you're standing on stage with thousands of people screaming for you, playing basically like a trombone melodic ballad at the opening of this show?
Insane, right? Insane. So The beauty of being a brass player is you are sort of forced to interact with most brass players within that community. I had known Kyla for years. We had done some playing together. And at this time, she was playing with Ben Haggerty, Macklemore. Kyla and the management reached out. They're like, hey, we need someone to fill in for like a brief, like 2-week run, with the assumption that the regular trombone player, who's amazing, was coming back. And, the tour would end and they'd hit me up, for the next run. And it kind of kept going for about 2 years.
Wow.
Up until the pandemic, we were booked.
That's awesome.
There's always that like moment where you get the call where it's like, oh God.
When you come on as like a fill-in, do you have to learn all the choreo for that first gig?
Oh yeah. We had maybe 3 or 4 rehearsals in person.
Were you like filming them so you could practice or what?
Oh, but it was just the horn. It was just a horn sectional.
Oh, okay.
So we were going over steps. I was like memorizing the music beforehand.
Sure.
There's no parts. There's no like written music. So I'm just learning all these parts by ear. And they range from like mostly like these orchestral pads, just like hits, to like some really orchestrated like horn parts.
Back to the people now. Sing a song. It goes like, raise those hands. This is our party. We came here to live life like nobody was watching. Got my city right behind me. If I fall, you got me. Learn from that failure game.
It's really like a horn forward track. So what he likes to do is integrate the track that they already had there. So that's part of the pop game, is like sometimes you're playing over track that's already there.
Sure.
But with this scenario, we're like so forward heavy in the mix. It's like trumpet and trombone on top of all that stuff. It's pretty wild.
So you're matching energies with this crowd that I'm looking at right now, right?
Yeah.
How do you approach, let's say, that? How do you approach that? If you're now all of a sudden hyping up Andrea Bocelli in the back, like, you're not going to get the gig.
You're not going to be called back, right? So you have to you got to play the room, right? You got to know your role. This is a moment where you have to just play the trombone.
Right.
Just try and minimize the expressions.
Is it just energy matching? Is it just like reading the room, or just trying to like blend in? Is it code switching?
It's code switching,
right?
But it's also just like this man's voice. It makes you it goes to the music. Whatever the music needs, you need to do, right?
Yeah.
If the music is you kind of need to move around. It's not the coolest if you're just sitting there, right? Mm-hmm. This music is all about Andrea Bocelli's ridiculous voice. I think the music ultimately is driving this thing.
Which is why that Janelle Monáe thing was kind of awkward, right? Because it was this vibe with her, right? And when there's a disconnect there, you're like, move. Jump around, right?
And I get it logistically for the Janelle Monáe thing, like...
Yeah, it was at the White House, like...
It's at the White House. So Obama is chilling there in the house, you know, like front row. You can't have a random text and audio people, like, running around, so...
Yeah, makes sense. I might get your reaction, because you're going to see the title of it.
I won't look.
Okay.
I'm not looking. Oh, God. So my girlfriend has been a long time fan of punk, and when I got this gig, she was like, "You don't even know how to skank, bro." And the reality is I did not know how to skank.
Could you explain for the viewers?
So the skank is a form of dance that is typically associated with punk rock music, in which you flail your body in a manner that's sort of organized. It's like legs and arms are going in opposite directions. Gwen obviously knows how to do it. I didn't. But I will say, you see that man to the right? That is Stephen Bradley, who is the OG trumpet player from No Doubt. He's been in the band.
That's the dude?
That's the dude. Life is weird.
You just say life is weird?
Life is weird. I'm going to quote Lady Gaga here.
Okay.
Said it best. And she's like, you play the bar like a stadium, and you play the stadium like a bar.
Nice.
So in this moment, you just got to I had to say okay, cool. Legendary Gwen Stefani. Yeah, I get it. It freaks me out a little bit. Let me just not try and mess up.
Yeah.
And just focus on whatever the hell I'm doing so that I keep this job. Hey.
This is like when I have non-brass friends and I want to show them something, it's this every time.
Man, that's awesome.
It's just like, oh wait, you listen to good music too? I'm like, yeah.
Some of those that work forces.
This is like so good. Do you start bringing stuff in from your other gigs like, oh, like choreo really should be run like this? Or are you just showing up and playing the gig?
In a collective like this, that's where you kind of tread a fine line, right? Because you're still an employee, so you have management, you have a band leader, and you may have thoughts. So it's just kind of like you pick and choose when you have those thoughts.
Yeah, yeah.
In terms of just like movement and stuff. But honestly, the way that this band is these are ridiculous players. Mm-hmm. It's one of those projects that just kind of does its thing.
One more for you if you're ready for it.
Taking us out tonight with the Mutiny,
it's the best.
Prince, and the new Power
Just
Generation.
check
I'll
this
see you in
out.
23 hours.
So
Just like, look at these guys and listen to them at the same time. This is live.
Oh, this is it. Yeah.
This is it right here.
Did he just hit that note while jumping? Yes.
Yeah, let's check that out again.
Yeah, everything about this feels like they were like chilling on the couch eating like some veggie burgers, and then all of a sudden, oh, we're doing it, and then they're just like out. I don't know how they do it.
Well, thanks for being here.
This feels like kind of a part one. I feel like we can go even crazier.
For everybody out there, where can they check you out?
Spotify, under the name Darius Christian.
I'll link your Instagram and all that good stuff. So
Thank you, my man.
Nice. Thanks for doing this.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is really, really fun.
Well, thank you for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to comment, because I'm always testing out new versions of this and different formats. And if you like the special guest thing, I would love to bring more people on, bring Darius back. We had a ton of fun making this. So comment and share it if you like it, and we'll make more of them. Thank you to Skillshare again for sponsoring this video. Thank you to the Patreon donors for making all of these videos possible. If you want to help out as well, you can go to patreon.com/classicaltrombone. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see y'all in a couple weeks.